In Sikhism, there is no place for blind faith. None whatsoever. Majority of the religion will demand that faith from you. Don't question it. Don't discuss it. Don't analyze it. We can see the result around us. We don't need to elaborate it. The whole of the world is suffering because of that. The true meaning is not understood. It's not analyzed in any one of the most popular religious thought processes. So what happens? Slowly, slowly it gets distorted. The message disappears. As the days go on, there is a group of people in India. They are known as Gandamar. Gand literally means a knot. And these people put a knot to the cloth called dhoti when they wear it. So at the end of the dhoti they tie a knot and they are called Gandamar. And the funny thing is, this tradition started long time ago and everybody forgot about it. A husband was very forgetful in his youth. So when he leaves the house every morning to go to the shop to open his store, his wife will say, on your way back, please bring these things into the home. But every day he'll come empty-handed. He'll forget. So his wife gave him a solution. As many things I need, put as many knots to your cloth. So when you get up from the shop, you are going to throw your dhoti on your shoulder and you will see these knots. They will touch your hand and that will remind you that your wife has asked for something. He said, that's a beautiful reminder. So his son sees it, that his father, after tying the dhoti, ties a knot, so he started tying a knot. Somebody else saw it, that they tied, there must be something good in it. Slowly, the tradition started. And they literally became Gandamar. Without thinking, without the purpose. There are so many examples of how the traditions start. On Easter cooking, the ham was brought and the mother took the piece of ham and chopped the two ends, put it in the tray and shoved it in the oven. The daughter was watching, asked the mother, "Mother, this is a perfectly good meat. Why did you cut it?" "Yeah, I don't know. Your grandmother used to do. So I thought that it must make the meat cook better. That's why she does it." But it so happened the grandma was also visiting. So the daughter goes to the grandma. "Grandma, why did you cut that portion?" "I don't know. Your great-grandmother did that." Well, lucky for the girl, the great-grandmother was also there. So she goes to her and says, "Grandma, would you please solve this mystery? What is the advantage of chopping the ends of the ham?" And she said, "Sonny, in my days, the appliances were very small. We had a very small oven. And the trays were also made to fit those ovens. Normally, larger piece of meat would not fit in the tray, so we used to cut the ends to make it to the size of the tray. There is no other recipe to it. You don't have the problems today. Your ovens are big enough, your trays are big enough. You don't need to chop it. But 4 generations, without trying to understand, been wasting the food. And you can look at these examples. If you look into your own life and ask, why I'm doing this? The very first answer that will come from within you is, I learned it from my mother. And if you go to your mother, she will give you the same answer, I learned it from my mother. And so on and so forth. That's called blind faith. Sikhism says, forget the blind faith. Question it. Understand it. And then, if you understand it, then accept it as yours. Don't tell anybody you are doing this because your father was doing that or your mother was doing that. Then do it because you want to do it. It is your now. You can defend it properly now. You can explain the reason behind it. No blind faith. When you understand that, then what happens? Gurmukh Gyan Naam Mukt Hoi. You take that Gyan, you take that awareness, and you implement that awareness, and that awareness take you where? Mukti. Mukti means freedom. Freedom for what? From the cycle of life and death. That's the true freedom. Gurmukh Gyan Naam Mukt Hoi. Gurmukh Kar Sach Kamave Sache Sach Samamanya. Then all of your decisions become such that they keep taking you closer and closer by the day, by the hour, by the minute to that ultimate destination. Gurmukh Thape, Thap Uthape, Gurmukh Jat Pat Sach Ape, Nanak Gurmukh Naam Tehaaye, Name Naam Samamanya. Then all the creation, Thapana means to establish it. Then it knows that he establishes everything, Thape, and the opposite of that, Othape, to destroy it. It is all his cycle, it is all his game. The one who listens to the master, listens to the guru, knows that, accepts that. When you accept that, then there is no sadness in meeting or in parting company. There is no happiness in meeting, it's a chance to meet. There is no sadness in parting because if you don't part, you are never going to meet again. It's a part of the game. It's part of the drama. Gurmukh Chat Pat Sab Ate, Sab Ape. That individual knows. Jat means your community, the surname that you get. There is no surname, that's a human creation. He has no such labels. Nanak Gurmukh Naam Tehaaye. So what does he do then? He says that he focuses on the word, he keeps on internalizing it, and slowly merges into that world, becomes part of that world. The consciousness stops being the individual, the I, and become totally merged into it. So that's a hymn on page 116, 117, hymn number 13. We'll take a pause here. Thank you for all coming.